Samsung may have accidentally made its best foldable phone yet, and it might not be the one you think. I've spent around 6 to 7 hours testing out the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and the Fold 8 Ultra, comparing everything from the displays to cameras to how these phones actually feel in real life. Spoiler alert, unlike with the Galaxy S generation where the Ultra easily means the best in all categories, here things are completely different, which is why you need to make the right decision. Let's start off with the design and form factor. While the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra continues Samsung's traditional design, it is tall, slim, and still relatively narrow when closed. The standard Fold 8 is completely different. It is shorter, much wider, and almost passport shaped. The most surprising thing about the Fold 8 was actually just how lightweight it felt in hand. Yes, it is officially the lightest fold that Samsung has ever made. The Fold 8 Ultra is still a tad bit thinner, but I feel like the weight is more important when it comes to the foldable phone because they're so close in terms of their metrics. Now, because of the new form factor, the Fold 8, in my opinion, does a better job at being the phone and a proper tablet than the Fold 8 Ultra, because thanks to the wider aspect ratio, the content is more optimized, especially if you're watching Netflix or movies. It's just gonna take a little bit more space and feel more optimized compared to the aspect ratio of the Fold 8 Ultra. The inner screen on the Fold 8 is 7.6 inch, while on the Fold 8 Ultra is a little bit bigger at 8 inches. While on the outer side, we have a 6.5 inch narrow display on the Fold 8 Ultra and 5.5 inch on the standard Fold 8. Holding these in my hands side by side, I will say that I really do like the new form factor. It's way easier to manage in one hand, and also it's proper wide. Now, both displays have peak 3000 nits brightness with the anti-reflective coating, which is going to make a difference when it comes to that outdoor reflection look. The crease is slightly better, but it's definitely still there and noticeable from certain angles. So if you are imagining a proper zero crease kind of scenario, that is still not yet possible in the world of Samsung's foldables. I will still say Find N6 had the best crease performance, but yeah, it is improved here, just not the absolute best. Now, Samsung has hit a home run when it comes to colors. You get 4 colors and all of them look fantastic depending on your taste. When it comes to cameras, I feel like this is where Samsung has created the biggest difference to kind of justify the Fold 8 Ultra. So standard Fold 8 only has 2 cameras, 2 50 megapixel sensors, 50 megapixel main and the 50 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor, while the Ultra has a 200 megapixel main camera, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel 3x optical zoom. Yes, that same 10 megapixel sensor. It's on its last knees, but Samsung just keep using it. I really wish that they introduce a 4x or 5x zoom on the Fold 8 Ultra, but it's still that same zoom sensor. So comparing cameras, obviously you do have a stronger main camera performance on the Ultra with the 200 megapixel sensor. Although I will say the standard Fold 8 with the 50 megapixel main camera is still pretty capable. The big thing is that the lack of telephoto sensor. Yes, the Ultra clearly has the advantage when it comes to the cameras, but it doesn't really have that 5x lens that we're used to on an Ultra phone. So I'm honestly not too fussed about it. Again, I feel like the form factor difference is more of a stronger purchase decision here rather than cameras when it comes to foldable phones are concerned. The selfie camera sensors are the same across the board, so no difference is there. Both phones now support Samsung's latest professional video features, including the APV codec, as well as the log and the built-in LUT support that Samsung introduced with the S26 Ultra. All that stuff has now made to the Fold 8 as well as the Fold 8 Ultra's camera. When it comes to the performance, Samsung is using the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy on both of these two folds. No Exynos. Regardless of which market you're in, you're going to get the Qualcomm version of the Fold 8. Both will start with 12 gigs of RAM with either 256 GB or 512 GB of storage, but there's also a 1 TB version available with 16 gigs of RAM on both models. So when it comes to the internal configuration is concerned, both are pretty on point. Samsung has not weakened any of the models. So you are getting the same flagship chip, same Galaxy AI experience, same multitasking capabilities. Both of them are running One UI 9.0 based on Android 17. So these are officially the first devices to have the Android 17.0 out of the box, obviously alongside with the Galaxy Z Flip 8. Now, another area where the Fold 8 Ultra could have made a bigger difference is in the battery section. So we've got a 5000 mAh battery battery, whereas the standard Fold 8 has a slightly smaller 4800 mAh battery. It's a very small difference. Again, Samsung could have increased the battery for the Ultra to differentiate even more. Both devices support Samsung's fast charging 2.0 standard, so neither phone received the latest 60-watt charging technology that was introduced with the S26 Ultra. I really thought that they would bring that fast charging protocol to all their latest flagship phones, but they're keeping it exclusive for the S26 Ultra model. And finally, the most important part is the price. The best thing about the Fold 8, other than its form factor, is that it is the cheapest Samsung foldable, roughly about $200 cheaper compared to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra. While the Ultra has a slightly bigger battery, an extra telephoto lens, 200 megapixel main camera, none of that really gives this an Ultra level name, because there's still no S Pen, there's still no proper ultra grade periscope camera. It's honestly more like a Galaxy Z Fold 8 Plus than an Ultra upgrade. So judging that in comparison to this new Z Fold 8 that has a much more exciting form factor that is wider, easier to use, but also still gives you that big actual kind of a tablet experience where apps are going to utilize that aspect ratio better, I gotta say the standard Fold 8 is looking like an easy choice. Again, I've spent like 6 to 7 hours with these phones. I will be doing deep testing for both Fold 8 and the Fold 8 Ultra, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. By the way, I also checked out the Galaxy Z Flip 8, which is very similar to last year's model. There's been some new changes, like they made it a little bit thinner, lighter, but overall it is very similar to last year's model, with the new chip hardware upgrade on the inside, and of course it comes with new colors as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. What do you think about the Samsung's new Fold 8 and its exciting form factor? Which form factor do you like the most? Do you still prefer the Ultra's form factor, or do you think this new form factor is the way to go? Drop a comment. With that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.